My whole life, I had the curse of obedience. I never told anyone. I didn't even realize it wasn't normal until I noticed other people could freely defy people's wishes. But everything I was told to do, I did. I always had a clean room. I always stopped chatting in class, and I always was the person people would come to when they needed help cheering up. When I'm doing these actions, I'm not me. I don't know if someone else takes over. I don't know if my body simply exists to carry out actions without a consciousness. Maybe I remain in control, but forget it after. But somehow, every time I carried out a task that had been asked of me, I'd simply black out until it was done. And I have no memory of fulfilling the task. Asked me to pick something up at the shop, and I could not tell you how much it cost. But I'd retain the skills. Asked me to learn how to use certain software, and I'd understand it like the back of my hand when it's done. When I got to college and moved in with a couple of other students, things got a bit more difficult. Teachers aren't as personal, so nobody ever told me to get on with my work. My flatmates don't care how messy my room is, so they wouldn't tell me to clean there. Just to clean the shared areas. I got lazy. I wasn't doing much because nobody told me to. I was finishing college when I realized a couple of extra things about this curse. Something that I thought I could use to turn it into a gift. The first is that it had to be to my face, in person. They asked me to do something over a phone or a text, and I could do as I please. The second, though, was more interesting to me. If I asked myself to do something whilst looking into a mirror, I could do these tasks on autopilot. A door had opened in my life, and I walked through without hesitation, not realizing that it would lock behind me. I'd use this newfound loophole to do things that were boring, make dinner, wash clothes, complete this essay. Life wasn't easy life as when I was a kid. I didn't need my parents or teacher to tell me the right things to do. I could tell myself. I was back to having a life where I'd do everything myself, whilst also having everything done for me. I experimented a little with cameras in my flat. I asked myself to clean the shared living area and watch the recording after. To my surprise, I didn't act all robotic. I seemed like myself. In fact, halfway through emptying the bin, one of my flatmates got back and spoke to me. We shared an inside joke, laughed, and spoke about our day. All the time, my voice had its normal inflections and normal tones. It was like I was watching my twin. I realized that I had been using this all wrong. This is so much potential I have with this. Could I stop wars? Could I bring a world peace? Could I become everything I've ever desired? I started with something I had wanted for the past few years, but had never had the courage or opportunity. You need to get into a relationship. Suddenly, I was laying next to the most beautiful person I had ever seen. We were cuddled up in a bedroom I didn't recognize, and they were asleep. The bedroom must have been mine, or maybe ours, as items I owned back at the flat were in this room. I was happy. I was warm. I was cozy, but I wanted to take it a step further. There was a mirror next to the bed. I faced it and said, "You need to start a family." The next thing I remember is holding my baby boy. I was in the hospital with my partner. I did a double take when I looked at her this time, as they didn't look the same. Maybe things hadn't worked out with this previous partner. I looked in the hospital mirror, took a deep breath, and said, "You need to become rich." Sure enough, there I am in my office, a plaque on my desk with a name on it, and CEO. I don't know what company I founded, but from the looks of things, I'm doing quite nicely for myself. I went into my office's private bathroom, and before I even caught a proper glimpse of myself, said, "I want to be the most famous and loved person on the planet." I was on stage accepting an award for Outstanding Actor in a Drama Series with applause thundering in the background. Ah, shit. No mirrors. I was going to bullshit my way through the speech. Thank you. The applause settles down. When I first founded my company, I never thought I'd one day get into acting. It's been so long that I hardly even remember how I got into it. Or maybe it hasn't been that long. Maybe it just felt like it. I'd like to thank my son. Where is he? There was silence and awkward, thick tension in the air. Those of the awards evening spoke up. "I think we will all join you in thinking that, even in death, raising Philip still led you to where you are today, and for that, I think somewhere, he knows you're thanking him." Oh my God, I thought to myself. I stood there not knowing what to think. He was only in my arms a few moments ago. I spoke up. He was too young to be taken from us. but the host patted me on the back. 23 is far too young for anyone. My heart sank. My son died older than me. Wait, how old even am I? Is it selfish of me to take care more about myself than the person I raised for 23 years? I mean, I didn't even really raise him. I had used this sick and twisted curse to do it for me. But I mean, it wasn't my intention. I just wanted to have fame and money. How could I have known it'd take 23 years? The host spoke up again as I walked off the stage. It was 6 years gone, yet still always in our hearts. Oh my God, it took 29 years. I've wasted my life on the most famous, loved, richest person on the planet, and I don't have a fucking clue who I am. At this point, was I even the main inhibitor of this body? By existing right now, I am robbing from whatever is in control of me when I'm blacked out. This is more of their life than it is mine at this point. Besides, what about my family? I have a family now, apparently. Is it even fair that I carry on, not even knowing my wife's name? I can't exactly ask her now, can I? I don't know a thing about anybody in my life. He'll catch up with me eventually. So I went to the bathroom, still holding my award. I looked directly in the mirror and said 5 words. Live your best possible life. And then, everything went black.